Hello and welcome to the F1 Xbox RP here with myself, Andrew, and with me tonight is Matt. How are you getting on, man?
I'm absolutely fantastic. Excited to be here. If this race is anything like the races earlier on in the week, we should be in for a real exciting one.
Oh yes, as we saw on Tuesday night, we had some really fantastic racing around the US Grand Prix circuit called Circuit of the Americas. It's actually in Austin, Texas, and we're going to be driving around it today with a group of around about 16 guys, I'm assuming. As you can see here, we're just waiting to jump into the lobby now. It's going to be a good race. So, I'm going to just run through a few of the details for today's race. We're going to have a minute's silence before quali starts, with no cars out on the track, to pay respects to the late Murray Walker, Sabine Smith, and Johnny Dumfries, and also to the people that have lost their lives in this tragic pandemic of COVID-19. Obviously, going on to the first thing there, Murray Walker was somebody that all commentators like myself looked up to. He was the pinnacle of F1. He was the face and the voice for so many years, and unfortunately for me, being born on the year that he stopped, I didn't get to see any of his races live. But one thing my dad always told me was, watch the races back and you'll always smile when you hear his voice. Going on to Sabine Smith, the only woman to ever win the Nürburgring 24 hours. She had done nearly 20,000 laps of that track in her lifetime, and unfortunately, at the tender age of 51, she passed away of cancer earlier last week. And Johnny Dumfries, the Lotus driver as well, during the late 1960s and 70s, unfortunately passed away as well. He wasn't exactly the youngest of people, and we'll be paying respects also to the hundreds of thousands of people, the millions of people actually, if you look in the world scale, of the people that lost their lives to COVID-19 here.
I'm sure quite a few. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, Matty.
No, sure, the whole motoring community is really feeling effects of the last few weeks. So hopefully, just a small token of a minute's silence would do the most justice that we possibly can.
Yes, definitely, and I think as well as that, today we were made aware of somebody in our community who actually suffers with a more of a disease disorder that nobody wants to ever be faced with in their lifetime, and that's El Senedo. We learned today of the fact that he unfortunately suffers from functional neurological disorder. On the day to actually aware everybody of this disease, he's come out and he's been very open about it, and I think, as a piece of respect to him and to all the people that suffer with this, we say thank you to him for coming out and telling us this, as everybody here in this community supports him, and knowing how it feels when it comes to having it, being misdiagnosed, and also people treating it just like a normal disorder, or just a mental health issue. It's more than that, and I think we all have to take a step back and understand that we can do a lot more to help people that suffer from this, from the very minute few that do, but it ruins their lives.
Certainly in this crazy year as well.
Yes, definitely, and I think we can all say that it's going to be a good race today, and in the respect of everything that's going on in the world. So, without further ado, let's just quickly, obviously we're going to go into a minute of silence, as a whole minute, during the quali here, and as a respect from us, it's only fair enough. And I would like to say a big thank you to everybody that took part in the minutes of silence there from us in the commentary box, and also to the drivers that also took part as well. Obviously, when we were loading into the session, they obviously had their minutes of silence, and it's only fair that we took a minute to pay respect to everybody that have lost their lives over the past year. So, talking about the amazing racing that's going to happen today, let's just quickly run through today's information in the race. Let's talk about the team lineups. So, the Pit Stop Boys, who we know as the kind of admins of the league, IRL Mats and Jamie29X. Hotshot Racing, which has DJ Danny and Fairmoto. We have Shark Nipples F1 with James F1 and Sir Sharks. We have Only Fools and Horsepower with Lightshock16 and Don Crouchy. We have W7 with Stallion W7 and Raza410. We have Viper Motorsports with Botched Gerbil and the Josh32. We have Brabham Racing with AC Oakhill and St. Johnston. And we have Wales F1 with M. Watson and El Senedo. We have Pain in the Rain with Kingly Diagram and BMG Sully. And we have Coconut Water with F1 Ice Cream 05 and Keiran 11. So, it's going to be a good one today. We will first jump into setting up all our information. We'll get the best information up for everyone. We'll take that off. We need lap data on, and we need track map on. So, it's a little bit overcast for today. I'll need to find out from the Discord if we're going to have any rain. But as we're watching on board with the Josh32 now in his Alpha Tauri as he's going through Sector 1 of the track. So, quickly just make sure that it's just fitted. And we should be ready to go for tonight. So how's everybody doing in the chat? I'm obviously going to be in the chat today answering anybody's questions. If anybody has any sort of question for any of the drivers to be asked at the end, please do throw it in and we'll get to it. So Matty, how do you think the race is going to go today?
I think there's a lot of very good races out and about that can make this race interesting. I think it's all going to come down to turn one right at the beginning, that very tight left-hander. Whoever can get through there if they can get through there cleanly, they should put themselves in a very good position for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I think as well as that, it's gonna encourage a lot of the drivers to be a bit more careful. As I would have heard a few of the drivers probably complaining in the chat the last race about one of the drivers not giving enough space. So hopefully today we're going to see a few of the drivers respecting all the track limits and giving everybody a good race for everybody to see here. As we see IRL Mats locking up there, going into Sector 3. Having a bit of a fun one, it would seem.
Very cool.
Oakhill's retired from the session there. I don't know what's actually happened to him.
Set a very good time though before that retirement.
Yeah, so I don't know if somebody needs to get him back into the session. I think everybody, because they're in here, I might be able to sort him out. I don't think I actually have him here. I'll wait, because it is quali, so it's not like the actual race. In all respect to the racing that's going to happen tonight, we're going to see quite a lot of the drivers having a bit of a battle down the back straights. Obviously with that DRS zone, a lot of drivers are going to be catching, I do believe there. So we see our league standing head guy at the moment, DJ Danny, diving into the pits. He's going to sit and wait for a little bit to see what he can do. And Stallion W7 also going to dive into the pits now.
El Senedo's here on seems to be a very quick flying lap. Just coming down the back straight.
Yeah, and we're watching him now. He does look like he's having a good one. Got 11 minutes left on the quali session. Fastest time at the moment is Jamie29X, who is actually celebrating his 40th race in this championship. He's not managed to score a podium yet, though. So, as we were talking about just before the stream started, a little bit of a Hulkenberg here.
Let's hope today can be the day of changing that, eh?
Yeah, I do actually think that Elsinado slowed down a tiny bit. Yeah, he's going to dive into the pits after setting no lap time, it seems. He tried to do it on the mediums, which is not a bad shout. Definitely not a bad shout. So, Don Crouchy now on his out lap. He's one of the only drivers out on the track at this moment in time, looking to set a time. He's not managed to post any time yet, so I'm assuming he was just trying to get set up on the car before he went out. Nice driving from him we've seen in the past. He's been given one of the faster cars of the sessions in the Red Bull. Red Bull obviously is a slightly difficult car to drive, as it's not very fast as such in a straight line, but it's got a lot of downforce. And we'll see he'll manage that very well here in the Xbox RP League here in round 7 of the championship. Just a reminder that we will have the championship will be set as odd races. The quali will be set as normal quali grids, and in the even side of the championship, so the 2, 4, 8, 2, 4, 6, and 8th race, all that stuff will be done as a reverse grid. Now we're on board. We're just going to watch a little bit here as he's posting a good lap. We'll jump fully on board with him here on the TV pod. He's going to post a decent lap time, it seems. Ooh, and a little bit of a tap on the back there on the McLaren. I do believe that was Elsinado he's just tapped. Unfortunate, but he did slow right down into the corner, which he should have been a bit more aware of Don Crouchy coming up behind him. He's just about to come off the back straight of Sector 2 now.
Looked like a very good lap time just before that.
Yeah, just before he ended up missing his braking zone, which is a bit unfortunate from him, because he was very comfortable in the car.
Very compact out on the track at the moment. Not a lot of room to actually get best lap times and best racing lined in.
Yes, as we see, it's a little bit overcast, so the track is obviously not at the optimum temperature where they would like it to be. A few of the drivers being quite slow, and he's decided to come in to see if he can get some more fuel in his tank. Just over 8 minutes to go of this quali session today, and hopefully we can see a few of the other drivers jumping out onto the racetrack. Jump on board now with Ferramoto, who's just where we saw going off. He's decided, because he's on his out lap, a good boy from him, not necessarily causing too much of a fuss.
Just been made aware as well today that it's Ferramoto's birthday tonight. Well, today, so we wish him a happy birthday as well. Hopefully some birthday luck for him in the track today. Oh, as he just loses the back end down the straight.
I guess that was commentary curse. In that case as well, I hope he understands from the commentary box that we wish him all the best and a very happy birthday from us. So I'm hoping that AC Oakhill will get back into the session. If not, I will try and get him back in before the start. It might be worth, actually, if you want just now, searching him up on his gamer tag of AC Oakhill 04 and trying to invite him to the session because he might have crashed out. We've seen him crash out a few times before, so it wouldn't be unusual from him. His fair moto takes out a bollard. Watch Gerbil driving in the Alfa Romeo. This car is actually a favourite by a lot of the streamers and stuff like that I watch for Formula 1. They say it's a good balance of a challenge and some decent downforce in the car as well, so you manage to get some good times posted for it all. See him coming into Sector 2 now. He's doing really well here as he comes round to get into the DRS detection zone. Obviously that is not needed for right now. He's going to hit DRS down the straight. Watch Gerbil only sitting in 12th position at this moment in time, but we know that he can definitely post a faster time than this. Raza has actually set the fastest time of a 1:30.976 in the Renault. Jamie 29X on a 1:31.092. And St. Johnston 02 on a 1:31.484. That rounds off the grid for this moment in time, but obviously we're going to see the mad dash for all the drivers getting out within the last 2 minutes of qualifying here at the Circuit of the Americas. Have you had any luck with trying to get AC Oakhill back into the session?
Nothing's coming up.
I'll quickly grab him in. Hopefully it doesn't disturb the broadcast a little bit. I sent him an invite, so hopefully he can join the session again. We've got a little bit of a yellow flag in Sector 2 as cars slowing down a little bit. Botch Gerbil managed to post to get into 9th there in the Alfa Romeo 1:32.5, so he's going to be a bit happy with that one. Lightshock 16 posting a 6th fastest time there in a 1:31.9. He was actually saying earlier that he might not be able to get any faster than 1:33. I don't know if that was a tactic to spur the boys to think that one of the faster drivers isn't going to manage to get faster.
Few mind games coming out already.
Yeah, as we saw actually last time, we saw Lightshock. He was a little bit unlucky with his when he was getting into the pit exit during the race. He got taken out, unfortunately. So his race didn't really end up going very well. DJ Danny is on his outlap, so hopefully we'll be able to catch him as he comes down. Be interesting because he is one of the faster drivers in the league, so it'll be interesting to see where he sits in the grand scheme of things today. He is sitting in 8th position at this moment.
With 3 minutes to go, drivers must surely be thinking about getting another lap in.
Be interesting to see as well where he manages to place the car coming into these last few corners, as the placement of your car coming round this part of the circuit is very crucial to being able to get efficient and good downforce coming into the start finish straight. I did send AC Oakhill an invite, so hopefully he does manage to get into the session. If not, that's very unfortunate. And here we go, we're seeing DJ Danny going on his flying lap now. A few drivers on their out laps with 2 minutes to go of this quali session. He comes around turn 1, going into the weird the S's. on the circuit of the Americas. Quite interesting the way they designed it, don't you think, Matt, that they designed it like that?
Certainly, it's very similar to the little S section in Silverstone as well. Seems to be
Yeah,
a
I would
little bit
agree
of
with
a
you.
seems to be a little bit of a carbon copy. Take the best corner from a very quick track and add it to their track, which isn't a bad plan.
It'd be interesting to see, though, where the designers' thoughts came from, because you can see a lot of differences in the track design. They definitely tried to go for something completely different here for a national circuit, but at the same time, you can see that they have definitely, obviously, they've taken the S's from Silverstone through there, and they've got some kind of really tight turns as well that's reminiscent of kind of like the Paul Ricard, the long sweeping corners around Paul Ricard, that coming into sector 3, that big long right-hander, and the fast kind of corners as well. It does seem that Paul Ricard does show up a little bit on there.
Certainly does. I think they probably took their inspiration from some of the best tracks where they could get some of the most exciting racing, which we've seen this week already. You know, the racing on this track's fantastic in real life, and just the same on the game as well.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's what makes this game something that everybody likes to play at some point in their sim racing career. So we're actually jumping on board with IRL Mats. He's not managed to. I think he definitely slowed down a little bit, and he's gonna pull over, I think, and we'll wait for all the other cars to go past him, which is fair enough from him. But El Senado's on new, fresh, soft tires here, and we're now on everybody's mad dash to get to the fastest point round the circuit. Raza is still the top of the leaderboards at this moment in time. He is on a 1:30.8. He's managed to improve his time just then as we were talking. El Senado here, obviously the driver that we know that was suffering with neurological functional disorder, which is very sad to see. But he manages to get through it very well. Seems like he's got a bit of a sound glitch there, but he's looping these laps together. Hopefully he'll be looking to get within the top 10 here. Jamie 29X is sitting second at the moment in the pink Panther Racing Point. St. Johnston in the other Red Bull sitting in third position. Sir Sharks sitting in fourth just then, and he's actually been dropped down as El Senado goes third fastest on the line there.
Absolutely fantastic lap.
Definitely pulled it all together when it mattered. You see Don Crouchy's coming round. He managed to get on time to be able to put one more lap on the grid. DJ Danny's down in 10th, but we know that he's going to definitely try and make that up, and he's decided to dive into the pits. And so is DJ Danny, so obviously he knew that he couldn't improve on his time there. As that concludes the quali session of today's race. So, just looking now to see where we're at. We have, just before we go into any more, a lot of the drivers are jumping out the session. Hopefully we can get them all back in. Just a quick note for everybody that is diehard IRL. We have the Invictus weekly schedule. So, on Mondays at 8 o'clock, we have the PS F1 League, streamed by your men, Gareth and Sab on YouTube. We've got the F2 League on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock, streamed by Malc and Craig on YouTube. On Tuesday nights at the same time, you can catch us on Xbox, on Twitch here at the same time, streamed for the Xbox F1 League with Keiran and Dom. And for the PS F3 League, we've got done on Wednesdays at the same time, streamed by Hoopers and Wojciech on YouTube as well, so you'll be able to catch that. And we've also managed to pick up PS F4 League as well on Wednesdays 8 o'clock, and that's also streamed on YouTube as well. You'll be able to catch all the action then. The PC F1 League on Wednesdays as well. You can catch streamed on YouTube by JCol and Dan, same time. PC F2 streamed on Wednesdays as well by Geek and It's Fozzie on YouTube. And obviously you can catch us here every Thursday night with myself and Matt on Twitch for the Xbox F1 RP League. And PSRP is done on the YouTube channel at the same time. As we're getting ready to do the race now, it seems.
There seemed to be an incident on track at some point because DJ Danny actually picked up a penalty.
Oh, so that's interesting. Maybe that's why he couldn't complete his lap. So we can got some interesting facts and stats for you guys to digest. Only 4 drivers have finished on the podium twice so far, and that's DJ Danny, Fermoto, IRL Matt, and Sir Sharks. In addition, 10 drivers have finished on the podium 1 time. Only 1 driver has won 2 races, and that is Fermoto. Obviously, he won last week's race 2 weeks ago. A win in Austria has actually moved Fermoto into 2nd position, and 2nd most wins in IRL Xbox history. And Jamie29X, obviously, we mentioned this earlier, is the only driver to have scored more than 1 fastest lap in the season, and he's entering his 40th race today with the IRL, and he's yet to score a podium finish. That's very unlucky from him, but I'm sure he's going to enjoy it like he does every week here on the IRL Twitch channel. Looking at tyres, we're going to have C4, C3 and C2 tyres probably all in use today, as we're going to be going for the more interesting strat around here. Tyre wear is a big thing, especially through the S's on Sector 1, Sector 2. So we're going to see the predicted strategies here. A one-stop starting in between lap 11 and lap 14 for mediums to the end. And we could be looking to start on mediums from pit on lap 17 and go for on 19 for softs to the end. If anybody's thinking of the 2-stop strategy, we could be starting to pit on lap 6 to 10 to go soft, and then just continue to go to mediums at the end, and we'd be pitting again lap 14 to 18. So that's getting a maximum amount on your tyres. That may be only if you know that your pace is strong enough to be able to catch everybody again. And obviously we can go mediums and then go softs at the end of the race too. So in those conversations there, we're still loading into the race. Hopefully we don't miss the start as everybody's loading in.
Just finding out some more information on the penalty for everybody. Seems to be an illegal blocking on an in-lap has caused the penalty there.
So that's very unlucky from him. Maybe he just didn't see the driver coming along. But obviously rules are rules, and we've got to respect them all.
I believe it was one of the...
We're just waiting on a few of the drivers now to join the session. So obviously AC Oakhill's managed to join back after being kicked, only managing to post 1 or 2 lap times.
It would be very interesting to see which strategy each driver is going to choose.
So, yeah, that's going to be quite interesting to see, because a lot of the drivers actually qualified on softs there. So, unless we see the likes of DJ Danny and that starting on mediums, we're going to be in a position of problematic points. So, IRL Mats is saying that we are green light and the session starts in 20 seconds. In the conversation actually about people losing their lives to COVID, I hope everybody is keeping safe and abiding by all the restrictions set by your country's rulers and governments and states, so that we can beat this thing together. And we see all the drivers now going on to their installation lap, get themselves ready to go onto the grid. Raza managing to qualify first on the grid here at the Circuit of the Americas. We've seen him back in Monza about 3-4 weeks ago, putting on a show for us as he tried to go pretty much hard from the start after he had a little lap 2 incident, which involved him and a few of the other cars, and unfortunately he just decided that he was going to pit between lap 3 and 7, get some hard tyres on, and he tried to manage to go to the end, but 3 laps before the end his right rear popped on him coming round Ascari, and unfortunately couldn't tow it to the end as it completely ruined his race.
Seems to be every driver on softs bar from Stallion and James F1, who started on the mediums.
Yes, as we see the one stop on between 9 and 11 laps there. I can see quite a lot of the drivers are going to be doing that here.
Seems everybody's in agreement.
So looking at the tyres, everybody's starting on the softs here, so we could be on, as obviously Matt said there, for a complete one stop, or we could be challenging for a 2-stop race here, and depending on how the tyre wear is on this very overcast day in Austin. It's nice to see that it's not snowy though, like it was a few weeks ago in Austin. A few of my favourite content creators decided they were going to move to Austin as that all happened, and they said that it was like everybody decided that they didn't know how that the world worked at that moment in time. So yeah, hopefully all the drivers know that it's not snowy, so they don't have to start on wet tyres or anything like that. You see all the drivers now lining up on the grid. Stay moderately quiet here for the start as a few of the drivers are lining up. Here we are, 5 red lights, and it's a go here at Circuit of the Americas. We see at the back there, one of the drivers, the Josh, manages to get off very well off the line. He's managed to go up a few places. Sir Sharks as well. A little bit of argy-bargy on turn 1. Bit of a 4 wide incident there as we come into the end of sector 1 here. Raz has dropped a position now. Jamie29X, the veteran here, is managed to put it on. Don Crouchy, 3-second time penalty. It looks like as well somebody's end plate went flying off there. That'll be interesting to find out where that happened. Fairmoto and Stallion W7 are actually at the back of the pack, and we've got a bit of an incident.
Don Crouchy has gone off in beginning of sector the end of sector 1 there, sorry. He span into the wall.
Wow, it's not a good start from him, as we saw him doing really well at the quality session, so he's got a bit damaged there. Oh, he's really messed up his front wing. Serious damage. He is going to need to come in and pit within the next lap to get that fixed. He might be given a mechanical. Yeah, he's been given black and white. He's been told he has to come in and get that repaired. I think he's also getting a penalty for the incident that he had earlier, and a 3-second time penalty for smacking into the back of somebody, so that's fair enough on him. But Jamie29X getting off very well here as he's 0.7 ahead now, coming down to finish his first lap of the race here.
It looks like James F1 has got front wing damage as well. Not sure if it's severe. He is going to come in and pit now.
I do believe though we've got a little bit of a change. Everybody don't look at the timing screen, as it's magically decided that it's going to read out the wrong information for a second. A few drivers have decided to dive into the pit. Stallion W7 and James F1. James F1 deciding to go into the hards off the bat here after such a good start to the race. And there we go. Also we see Don Crouchy is in the pits as well to repair that front wing and probably get a new set of tyres there. after that lap 1 incident.
Looks like he's gone onto the hards in the Red Bull.
Yeah, a few of the drivers that have had the incidents have decided to jump onto the hard tyres to see if they can make the most out of their race. AC Oakhill trying to get a move on El Senedo. El Senedo covering off very well there in that McLaren. Gotta say, big shout out to him for coming out and letting us know about everything that he's been going through over the past year, and we're here to fully support him all the way at the Invictus Racing League. Really nice camera angles here at Circuit of the Americas. You could just tell that the circuit was designed for the show rather than everything else. Josh just pulling in behind now. We're seeing that the pack is starting to mix up a little bit as we see AC Oakhill in the Mercedes catching El Senedo now. Stallion W7 being given a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so that's track extension. Some good driving we're seeing so far though. DJ Danny trying to get a move done on M. Watson now. M. Watson be given a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. This one's going to be a hell of a strong one to see how many of the drivers are going to catch those warnings and get some penalties slapped on them. It's a really cool camera watching on the wing of that Alpha Tauri. Josh 32 running in 5th position at this moment in time, as AC Oakhill manages to sneak into 3rd past El Senedo in the McLaren. Looking further back in the field, James F1 is about 28 seconds off the pace at this moment in time behind St. Johnston. St. Johnston in the Red Bull, also having a bit of an incident on lap 1. Seeing the battles start to liven up a little bit here. AC Oakhill still 2 seconds behind Raza, who's going up the hill as we see them thundering down to get into the positions here. Oh, big lock up there from the Josh 32 as he dives in for the corner. Light Shock has managed to get up a little bit there in positions as we watch on board. Jamie 29X given a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and he is our leader today. If it stays like this till the end, unfortunately he isn't going to he's going to manage his podium just, it seems, not by much.
It opens the race right up though, these time penalties.
Yeah, it gets confusing for us here in the comms box, but I'm sure we'll see all the results when they come flying at us at the end of the race. Light Shock 16 here, I'm sure he's got a stream up today. If you would like to see from his point of view, you can definitely check his channel out. So Sharks is hunting.
DJ Danny is just
past Light Shock.
DJ Danny's just made a great pass on Watson to take P8 in the Williams.
Oh yeah, I can see that. He's M. Watson there is a bit more of an inexperienced driver compared to DJ Danny. DJ Danny is leader in our championship points at the moment.
And now he's being chased down as well by Botch Gerbil. Very good little battle between those three emerging, with IRL Match joining at the back in the Renault as well.
We watch from the rear. St. Johnston 02 being given a 3-second time penalty here. Botch Gerbil just didn't manage to get into the slipstream too much there, as M. Watson had a bit of a DRS slipstream there from DJ Danny in front of him. So you can say that even though DJ Danny overtook him, he also saved him there from going down a little bit. Let's see now. So Sharks is still in 7th position. Light Shock is getting a bit away from him now. Not by much. He might get him down the straights here. watch actually from one of the cars in front. On Light Shock 16's car in the Williams.
It's 3 wide for the lead here.
As we're on board here and we're watching Jamie29X banging wheels. He's obviously not too happy with AC Oakhill pulling in. Raza's definitely managed to pull away as these guys are fighting, so that's definitely good for him. Jamie29 going wide around that section of the track. El Senedo, is he going to be able to hold him off? M. Watson getting a 3-second time penalty as well. As we see, I think there is just a tiny bit of DRS assistance there. Oh, as AC Oakhill goes wide and Jamie29X takes the position back.
A fantastic battle emerging
Really
between those guys.
Yes, definitely, and I think that's the great thing about this. AC Oakhill has now been given a 3-second time penalty for track extension. I was actually speaking to some of the guys that raced in the Touring Car League last night, and they were saying the amount of times that people get done in the racing scene for track extension, you have no idea, especially in touring cars. They're always looking to make any advantage they can of corners, and the stewards have to be very attentive to what everyone's doing as we're coming down into sector 2 here. Ooh, Jamie29X following very much on the tail of El Senedo now. He's wanting that second position back. He's dropped 2 positions now coming into this Grand Prix here at the Circuit of the Americas. Nice stuff. Covering off there. Jamie29X pushing hard, but it's not enough. El Senedo's just got a little bit more pace than that McLaren somehow. He must have a better setup in that thing. Watching from the broadcast cameras in the helicopter now as they come down. 3 drivers chasing each other down. 2 of them are going to have DRS. Jamie29X is going to look to try and get down the inside here if he can, and it's just not enough. Obviously, El Senedo putting all his overtake ERS into that back, the rear engine, the rear wheels of the McLaren. If only there was 2 engines in an F1 car, am I right? Yellow flag in sector 1 as we see Stallion W7 has gone off. Is that Stallion? I'm not too sure as we see a few drivers coming down the thing. I think that was Fair
I believe it was Fair Moto, yes, but it doesn't look like he's got too much damage, interestingly.
I think he's managed to get away with that one. I think he's not got any damage to the front wing. And I'm not seeing any damaged side pod or anything, so he didn't hit anything, he just spun out. Good to hear
DJ Danny is
he's not having the best of races.
DJ Danny and Botch Gerbil having a real good battle here for P9. DJ Danny trying to get past the Alfa Romeo.
Oh,
2 wide again.
Wheels, but that is all right.
Oh, DJ Danny has just gone wide.
IRL Mats has made a place up because of that, but DJ Danny's not going to be too happy with that. That was his own doing there. A little bit too much on the loud pedal. He's done it again. Yeah, he's realised that his soft tyres are going a little bit off now, so he's going to dive into the pit lanes. As a few of the drivers coming in now on lap 7 to get their pits done. We'll see how fast he can get his pit stop done, and if he manages to get out in front of Fairmoto or Stallion W7.
El Senedo's just received another 3-second time penalty here.
A few of the drivers here are going to get quite a lot of time penalties, I think. As we come out, and we're going to watch on board with IRL Mats as he manages to battle away behind Botch Gerbil, just trying to stay in his slipstream. Jamie29X now is 10 seconds behind in 9th position. He definitely had decided that he needed to pit to get on those medium tyres as we're on the 8th lap of the race now. Fermoto is getting another 3-second time penalty, so that's him got wrapped up too. This is definitely a track that he's not too familiar with.
ACO at Oak Hill with a great pass there on Alcenedo to take P2. Fantastic pass, very respectful racing, but he's just almost lost the back end there.
We'll stay watching AC Oak Hill just to see if he makes a mistake now, as Alcenedo is going to keep on putting pressure on him. It's going to be a weird one to see if we get some difference. Don Crouchy getting another time penalty there. And IRL Mats as well. We're going to have at least half the grid changed up at the end here on time penalties, I think. Raza 410 is about 5 seconds ahead here. He's running away with the lead. He's not had any mistakes from his end to lose it. It's his race to lose now as they come through the middle section of the track. Good work here as AC Oak Hill carves his way through Sector 2. Very nicely done from him. And Watson getting a 3-second time penalty now. St. Johnston is pitted. So is Jamie 29X and the Josh 32. Sir Sharks, Light Shock 16 and DJ Danny all on fresh rubber now, as all the other drivers are on olds.
The Josh 32 has gone onto the hard tyres. I just noticed that.
Watching the leader now as he's coming through. He's still 5.5 seconds ahead of AC Oak Hill. Alcenedo's losing it a little bit now. You can definitely see the superiority of those Mercedes. Not seeing too much of DJ Danny and Light Shock 16 here when it comes down to it. The two championship contenders themselves. So Sharks as well here in the Alpha Tauri.
The leader, Raz, has just come into the pits.
Yep, we've seen that. We were just on board there as he dived in. A few of the drivers deciding to stay out a little bit longer, whether that's their own demise or not. They're obviously watching their tyres to know where they need to be. The one-stop strategy for the softs is now being announced. Sir Shark still running an 8th. The Josh 32 just behind him in the same car. Interesting to see, obviously, that's Raza just come out the pits.
There's been Light Shock has just spun out here. Yellow flags are out.
I will have a look. Light Shock, obviously, one of our faster drivers, so he's obviously done that himself. He is on older rubber, so newer rubber, so it could be down to the heat of the track there, but we won't be too nice to him. We'll say that he managed to spin it out in just all power. So he's actually going to make a move on DJ Danny now. Sir Sharks, to get back up in a position there, as we were watching on the cams there as he went off. IRL Mats is actually chasing down Botch Gerbil now. Not too much though, he is losing a bit of time. Raza in respective is still technically leading this race when it comes down to it, as the drivers all in front of him are on old rubber. I do apologise. The Josh 32 is now on fresh rubber there as well now. So Light Shock actually posting fastest lap there, a 1:35.239, as the car starting to lighten up as the race fuel burns off. Almost halfway through this race here at the Circuit of the Americas, just outside of Austin. Still a little bit overcast. If you're watching, guys, make sure to tune in to this stream every Thursday with respective breaks to be able to catch up on all the racing action here on the Invictus Racing League. Jamie 29X there on 2-lap old medium. Not making too much of an impression on Raza. Don Crouchy is catching Stallion though on those hard tyres. Obviously those hard tyres being switched on, I was guessing on these conditions between lap 3 and lap 6 that they were going to lighten up depending on their driving style. And obviously Don Crouchy managing to make the most out of his incident earlier on. He's going to try and see if he can get into a position of points. Of higher up points, that is. AC Oakhill getting another 3-second time penalty. So far Raza has not attained any of them, and yet he was putting very consistent lap times in. Raza is only 2 seconds now, 0.2 sorry, behind one of his fellow competitors, IRL Matt, in the same car as him in the Renault. Oh, and he makes a nice pass down the inside there.
Stallion's having a fantastic battle here with Don at the back, trading the position, fighting to catch back up to the rest of the pack, of course.
Don Crouchy, as we saw, taking a lap 1 incident and smacking into the wall, losing his left front end plate. El Senedo getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But he's on fresh rubber, so is AC Oakhill now. M. Watson trying to continue in the lead there, but he's just going to lose time now as Raza has got past IRL Mats now. You know, IRL Mats trying to go a little bit longer on the soft tyres to make it work, so it'll be interesting to see if he dives in at the end of this lap. M. Watson as well. He is in the lead at this moment in time, but 11 lap old soft tyres are not going to last the whole race, as we know. Box Gerbil. He's on fresh rubber now in the Alfa Romeo. See if he can make an impression on the race leaders. But that's M. Watson into the pits now. Jamie 29X is in second position, and AC Oakhill running in 5th after we've seen him doing quite a lot of battling up front. Jamie 29X just trying to catch up with Raza. He knows that he wants his first podium to be a win here, and hopefully he can lose the curse. The dreaded curse of him not getting one at all. It would be very much like Hulkenberg though to come in with the tracing point as such, and you know, post some really respectable lap times, even putting himself in podium places. In places that car really didn't belong in the middle of the season back in the British Grand Prix. He started the race in what considered to be a weird contention for the race, so
ACO
I didn't expect him to do very well, but he managed it.
ACO Oakhill with just another fantastic pass there on Surshot to take P4. He's pushing very hard to try and catch up to the podium places. So,
as we know, AC Oakhill is a very fast driver, so it wouldn't surprise me to see him on the podium today. Go on.
Surshot still interestingly without a time penalty as well, one of the few without them now.
Yes, and actually saying that, Light Shock as well on second pair of softs for him. He's going to be going 2-stop here as AC Oakhill, as we were on board of him, he takes fastest lap there on a 1:35.148. We can expect to see at the halfway mark now the track perfectly rubbered in, so the mistakes will be perfectly down to the drivers going off the line now, not necessarily on just the standard asphalt. So Sharks probably in a bit of a safe spot at the moment. He's not got much going on for him, but he definitely had a little bit of a battle with AC Oakhill earlier on. El Senedo, we jump on board with him now. He's little bit closer to St. Johnston as St. Johnston would like, but he's going to have DRS, hopefully. In that saying that he does. Does not. I would have hoped to see that he was 0.4 behind, so it's a bit confusing. Maybe he was just a little bit slower coming in the inside there. St. Johnston holding 6th position. El Senado in 7th. As I said, we're halfway through the race now. DJ Danny just behind now. He is not too far behind El Senado, just under 2 seconds now. It was a little bit larger than that. But we're seeing Botch Gerbil is having a bit of a battle. He has DRS and he's pulling away from the car behind him, which is M. Watson. Ooh, big lock up there coming into turn 1. That left tyre is just going to be flat spotted to all hell now, but hopefully the vibrations of the car don't slow him down too much. He seems to be very good through the Sector 1 slaloms, the S's. Comes through into Sector 2, having to give way a little bit to the Josh 32 in front of him, who was slowing down.
Sir Sharks has just received a time penalty as well. So that's everybody apart from Light Shock in the top 7 now with time penalties.
Yes, it's going to be down to who's got the least time penalties, it seems. And it looks like we're going to watch the Josh 32 go on the outside of DJ Danny. DJ Danny going on the defensive down the inside here. But obviously the Josh 32 having the gripped line manages to get the move done.
Just behind that,
M29X just gets another time penalty. Oh, and DJ Danny's not giving up. He's going to try and take him on the outside round this corner, but it's not going to be enough. Very close battling here. DJ Danny wants to get higher up on the positions here. For the all-purpose sake of the championship, he wants to have as many points as he can. He has got DRS, and Botch Gerbil behind him will have it as well. He might be able to make a move down the inside here, just a little bit late on the brakes. Oh, and he has a little bit of contact. I don't believe he's got any damage, but that was a close one. Definitely nearly messed that one up for himself. Josh 32, very good defensive line through there. I think DJ Danny coming from a little bit too far back there, coming into T1.
Fantastic battle for all those midfield places though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I think just in the middle of the field anyway, you're always going to get the battles for positions. Normally you see the guy in first is just going to fly away, you know, he's not got too much interruption. Sector 3, we've got a yellow flag out as Jamie29X is out of the race. That's Jamie29X after doing so well. He is going to be kicking himself after that incident. I think I knew what happened there. I think he put too much power down coming around that corner and just lost it going straight out. And we've got a virtual safety car that's been deployed. So a virtual safety car, all the drivers have to bunch up and maintain their delta. And Sir Sharks gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So a lot of the drivers using this time to come in, obviously coming in for pit stops during a safety car of any kind is a lot more beneficial than during racing, as obviously the time difference is a bit changed. Oh, and we see a few of the cars coming out at the same time there. El Senado coming in for some fresh softs. All three of those drivers decided to dive in for softs, except from St. Johnston, who already dove in for some fresh mediums. But that's the virtual safety car being put back away in the pocket of the stewards now. Very unfortunate from Jamie29X. We've got 15 cars left in the race.
He was having such a
We can
good
catch
race
up
before
with-
that incident, unfortunately.
Yeah, hopefully I can catch up with Jamie29X and be able to see what actually happened there at the end. But we are 17 laps into the race, just over 10 laps to go here at the Circuit of the Americas, just outside Austin here in America. Who doesn't love a little bit of Texan food every now and again? But IRL Mats, sorry for the spam there, just a little bit off Bot's gerbil now. Obviously he's got newer rubber on the car, so he might be able to make some moves that Bot's gerbil can't make. But Light Shock now in the pits. He's decided to dive into the pits for a second pair of tyres. He's going to probably jump on for another pair of mediums. Oh yep, he's jumping in for mediums. We're just saying that there. He's going to lose a few spots, but he'll come back out, and obviously we will see a few cars probably jumping into the mix. So the Josh 32, after a little bit of an incident, has decided to hop onto some hard rubber a few laps ago. M. Watson being put onto a 3-second time penalty again. We've only got 4 drivers that haven't got penalties in this race right now at this moment in time. So these guys' positions being, you know, more conservative with their cars is doing a good job. Light Shock pulling his car into a little bit of a contention here after coming out of the pits. His tyres obviously still trying to warm up. As we see, the sun is starting to break through the clouds here at the Circuit of the Americas. I was hoping to get a sunny day here in Austin, so we're starting to see that sun break through. So we're just watching on board here. Actually, Light Shock takes the wider line around the outside there. He's not going to make it happen. Oh, big lockup again from IRL Mats. It seems every time the IRL Mats is under pressure, he manages to make a small little mistake there, which could cost him the race. DJ Danny posting fastest lap there on a 1:34.119. So obviously the cars now getting lighter off race fuel. Track getting fully rubbered in, and we're going to see some good racing here. Ooh, IRL Matt's a little bit loose coming around the S's there. Got any news on your end of the grid, Matt?
It's just very, very respectful racing at the moment, especially in that midfield battle. DJ Danny still chasing down El Senado. That's turning into a bit of a very interesting battle.
Be interesting to see that if the soft tire runners now manage to make an impression on the race. Oh, and we see as IRL Mats gets a good bit of pace there to get past Bot's gerbil. And he locks up again there. This is a breaking point. And Light Shock is going to probably make a move now as IRL Mats is slowing him down just a little bit, just so that Light Shock can catch up. We're seeing that his front lefts there are going to be very flat spotted and are going to be quite worn out from him locking up quite often there. There's a few times over the lap that he's done it. And Watson still keeping a respectable gap ahead of the other runners. AC Oakhill, it seems, has just crashed out. I'm going to see if I can get him back in the race.
It seems AC Oakhill hasn't crashed. It seemed like his game has stopped working. Interestingly.
No, I'm going to get him in anyway, hopefully. So he is hopefully going to get back in the race, and hopefully we see a bit more of a battle with him.
It's unfortunate because he was in such a good position.
Well, hopefully his AI manages to hold on until he manages to get back in, and he doesn't lose too much position. There's a Josh 32 is 14 seconds behind him. So whether the AI does a stupid mistake and puts him in the wall, which is very unlikely, or goes into the pits early when he doesn't need to be, you know, AC Oakhill should be okay to just rejoin the race. Light Shock 16 just behind now has managed to make a little bit of a move now on Botch Gerbil coming through that part of the track. AC Oakhill has managed to join back the session, so that's good.
Fantastic. Doesn't seem like he's lost any time, luckily.
IRL Matt's still running in 5th position. His tyre wear is obviously going to be a bit of an issue now with those lockups, but hopefully he can maintain that position for a little bit longer before he needs to pit. The Josh 32 now on those hard tyres, they'll be almost feeling like mediums.
He seems to be losing a...
Nelson 3-second time penalty now.
Josh 32 is losing a lot of time to M. Watson. Won't be too long until he's ready to make a pass, I think.
M. Watson there, yeah, we were watching as he tried to dive down the inside.
The fresher, quicker medium's really starting to come into effect for him there.
Interesting. He's taking very good lines through here, but I think M. Watson's just a little bit faster on that medium tyre coming through the S's. 7 laps of racing to go here at Austin, Texas. It's going to be interesting to see where we end up. In the standings at the end, it's obviously down to the amount of track limits that you've probably accrued over the laps. But we'll do a provisionary positions right now. There's Raza 410 there, and AC Oakhill in 2nd, and Josh 32 in 3rd.
James F1
Josh 32 can make it to the end.
James F1 and Fairmoto have an incredible scrap through the first sector there. Dying in P13, P14.
James F1 actually being given a 3-second time penalty through that battle as well, so
both of them not wanting to step off the pedal there. As he has DRS going down.
We watch our leader come through the S's now. This isn't exactly where the racing is. He's 7.9 seconds ahead of AC Oakhill, who's overtaking the Josh 32 now for that position. Sorry, I do believe that was M. Watson that was pushing, not AC Oakhill. That was my apologies. Light Shock is about to make a move. He's having a little bit of a scrap with Botch Gerbil again here. A few drivers still accruing time penalties here.
Just as you said that, St Johnston's got a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting, interestingly, and we also have a yellow flag as St Johnston has crashed out.
Tired. He's actually crashed out of the race. That's very unfortunate. He must have just had a little bit of an incident there, going through into a couple of the corners there. We're gonna have a look now. DJ Danny, further down the pack, is also having a little bit of a scrap, but we'll stay on board here as Light Shock is still hunting down IRL Matt, who's fell down a little bit of the order again. As his medium tires start to degrade a little. Watch Gerbil holding off DJ Danny, not for long though, it seems. Good work here from Watch Gerbil, who's just maintaining the battle just a little bit. Watch from the TV pod. DJ Danny's going to try and see if he can make a move on this DRS zone. He does have the DRS pass enabled for this round through. Gerbil's not got it though, and we're going to see if Botch Gerbil's going to defend on the outside here. He's actually just going to stick to the outside line as we were thinking. Just a little bit later on the brakes, locking up those mediums, but DJ Danny gets by with ease. Got a little bit of a battle going on here for 5th, 6th and 7th, it would seem. Actually 4th as well as in the mix here, as the Josh 32 obviously was holding them up a little bit. They're all wanting to get past each other. Elsinado here, the only McLaren on the grid for today's race. So just a DRS train up the hill here in Austin. We've got 4 laps remaining of racing. It'll be interesting to see where we end up, don't you think, Matt?
Certainly will. Time penalties are going to play a huge factor, especially M. Watson seems to be doing very well at the moment, just holding up, especially on those harder tyres.
We actually see, he is in the mix there, but we actually see as IRL Mats is trying to dive again on the inside. All these drivers are going to have a chance here on DRS zone.
Sorry, and
3 drivers without penalties on this grid today.
Sorry, and I was mistaken. It's actually the Josh 32 that's on the harder tyres who's doing a very good job at maintaining 3rd at the moment, that last podium place.
Oh, and we see Lightshock was thinking about that there. IRL Matt's covering him off on the inside line. Very nicely done to slot that car into position. I think he's definitely managed to get to grips with the car. It's a little bit closer than M. Watson would really like. As he's just trying to break away to get past the Josh 32. Josh 32 is just managing to put enough lap time on M. Watson to maintain his position on the track. IRL Mats now just weaving his way through the S's. He's going to try and make a move now as we're seeing a bit of a battle arise everywhere in the middle of the grid right now. Stallion W7 going to be taking Fairmoto, his car teammate, not necessarily his real life teammate.
This midfield battle could come down to the last lap, with how close they all are together.
Is.
It's fantastic racing between all of them.
Raz has actually dropped a bit of time to AC Oakhill. Not much though over the past few laps. Oh, big lockup again from IRL Mats. He's just getting to grips with the Renault, it seems. The Josh 32 also has a bit of a lockup there. His tyres will be looking a little bit shredded now, coming to the end of this stint here at Austin. Circuit of the Americas is known for the tyre wear because the heat of the track, the grittiness of the circuit, and also just the fact that the cars are going to be putting so much load on each other as they come up around the S's especially. Still a bit of a battle here as the Josh 32 keeps on losing time to AC Oakhill now. Obviously that medium tyre is actually, I'm thinking, will be a little bit worse for wear as well. IRL Matt's getting another 3-second time penalty now. Oh, and he makes a little bit of mistake going wide. Elsinado trying to get round as well on Lightshock, but it's just all 4 of these cars battling for position now through Sector 2. Lightshock just getting by on the outside. Can he make it stick? Is he going to manage to be able to keep up now as that Renault has just a little bit more pace? He's going to dive to the outside to try and maintain his space. He has picked up another time penalty from going a little bit wide there, but he is still in 5th position.
Interestingly, Fairmoto's just come in here to pit to put on a fresh set of soft tyres.
He'll be going for fastest lap, I'm assuming. If he can't get a lot of points today, he's going to be diving in to get that fastest lap. Both of those guys in the team, DJ Danny and Fairmoto, who are constructing, I think they are the constructor leaders at the moment, are at a position where they are kind of in a little bit of a difference. You know, they're not going to be able to make too much of a difference from this point until the next race, if they can't get any more position. And Fairmoto has actually crashed out, so hopefully I can get him back in. Sent him an invite to get him back into the session.
Alcenado's there just picked up another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings again.
It's going to be a close one down to the wire here as Light Shock is looking to take a move onto... Oh, that is 3 wide down here, and the Renault is bumping wheels again. He's trying to get past. IRL Mats is just a little bit more of one of the drivers you don't want to be messing with on a 3 wide, because he will take it. Some good work there from Light Shock to maintain his line. Good respective racing here as we come into the final lap of the race.
The Josh 32, I think, struggling with tyres a little bit. A couple of small lockups from him there.
Lucky for him, he has 16 seconds to lose over 1 lap, so it does look like the Josh 32 is going to manage to keep that position. AC Oakkill now, only 4.8 behind Raza on this last lap. AC Oakkill getting another 3-second time penalty. The interval board has decided to crash on me a little bit, so please do bear with me as we have an off. And that is...
Fairmoto has gone off.
Has he managed to come back on?
He has. He's got front wing damage, but he is just rejoining the track now.
It'd be interesting to see if it was an incident with somebody. I'll have a look at that towards the end of the race after he's rejoined. Don Crouch, he's actually going for a bit of a dive, but let's jump on board with our leader so that he takes the flag here at Austin. What a pinnacle drive from Raza 410, redemption for Monza, which was a heartbreak for not only him but for us in the commentary box as well. We were rooting for him all the way, me and Dom the Noodle there, and there he is. He has taken the win there in the Renault. AC Hopekill nearly catching him at the end there. Not enough though. We'll just jump down the back of the pack here. Stallion W7 is those Haas cars just not managing to live it up on the home turf here in America, as we're seeing all the drivers cross the line.
Be interesting to see how the time penalties are going to affect their overall times.
Sir Sharks gets an unserved penalty notice there, 5 seconds on his time. So a few drivers there having a bit of issues. James F1 gonna come round to finish the race in his Alfa Romeo, with Don Crouchy chasing him right to the end here. Very eventful during the middle of the race. We had our fair amounts of battles going through. Some good work and some good respective driving as Don Crouchy tries to take him on the line, but it's not going to be enough. And we see Stallion W7, who is going to come round and finish his race here at the Circuit of the Americas. If you could, hopefully, I think the difference hasn't changed. AC Oakhill's managed to get second place now, so if we could get the 3 drivers into the interview room. I'll try my best to invite them when we get into. DJ Danny gets driver of the day there for what could be a pinnacle drive from him. And here we are, Raza 410 taking victory here in the USA. What redemption for him. 2 races ago, 3 laps towards the end after doing so well. He was sitting in 3rd position. His tyres decided to give up the ghost around Ascari, and it was the end for what a fantastic dream would have been for him, taking a podium at Monza. But he's managed to do it here at Circuit of the Americas.
It was a fantastic race from him.
You do the standings if you want.
Yes, certainly. So, Raza 410 in the Renault, obviously taking home the number 1 position, with AC Oakhill in the Mercedes coming in P2 with a 9-second time penalty. Josh 32 in the AlphaTauri coming in P3. P4 in that fantastic midfield battle we saw was eventually won by Lightshock in the Williams, with DJ Danny following up in P5 in the Williams. Bosch Gerbil coming in 6th in the Alfa Romeo car. IRL Mats in the Renault coming in 7th. Alcinado coming in P8 in the McLaren. M. Watson eventually down to P9 in the Mercedes, with Sir Sharks in the AlphaTauri coming in P10. James F1 in the Alfa Romeo coming in P11. Don Krejci in the Red Bull Racing coming in P12. Stallion in the Haas coming in P13. Fairmoto coming in P14 in the Haas as well, with St Johnston and Jamie 29 not finishing the race. Overall, a fantastic race, I think you would agree.
It was absolutely invigorating all the way around the track. We knew it was going to be a good race from seeing how well it went last race on Tuesday for the Xbox F1 League. You can catch that with Dom and Keiran live, same time you can catch us here on the Twitch channel.
That midfield battle was just intriguing for the whole race. You never knew who was going to come out on top.
It was just something different. It was something special here during the race. So hopefully I'll be able to get a couple of the drivers into the thing. So hopefully we'll get Raza. So we'll invite him to the party. Josh 32. We'll invite him. And hopefully I can get AC Oakhill. I'll be able to
I believe his game has crashed again, unfortunately.
Alright, I'll be able to get him. We'll be able to search him up and get him in. Good thing about having him as a friend. And we can invite him to the party and he can explain his race. So perfect, we've got the Josh 32. Please make sure that you've got your audio included in the broadcast. Have you got your audio included in the broadcast, buddy? I think he's just getting his headset like he just said, so we'll just wait for a second. Just wait for a few of the drivers to come into the chat.
The Josh 32, of course, one of the only drivers to go onto the hard tyres, which seemed to be a very good strategy in the end, as it turned out.
Definitely was. He pulled it right back. Go to your audio settings in the party. So go to options. I'll type to him in the chat, and then we can get that.
Technology never works when you need it, eh?
Yeah. Oh, Raza's crashed out. And the Josh 32 left. So everybody dies. Hopefully we can try and get them back. If not, then it's going to be a bit of a shame.
Seems Raza's trying to join again.
The connection's obviously not liking him today. A few of the drivers struggling with that, it seems. What I'll do then is I'll maybe leave the party and make a new one, and we'll do that. Xbox being temperamental, so I'll invite you back, Matty, and we'll get the rest in just now.
Look forward to it.
The fantastic thing about technology is it never works when you need it, as we said before. Hopefully I can get a few of the drivers back in. So there's Raza. So Matty's in. Perfect. Make
Hello,
sure you
Andriy.
guys that the... Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you all loud and clear.
Perfect. AC Oak kills here. I need to get the Josh 32 in here as well. Raza's still connecting. Seems like his internet's not having none of it. So just make sure that your audio is ready to be included in the broadcast. If not, if we can't get a hold of Raza, then we'll do our best for you guys. And Josh 32. Sorry about this, guys. Technology's not liking us tonight. If any of you guys can invite the Josh 32 to the party, that would be awesome. I can't find his name. I'm having a good time. Great. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly leave the session and jump into the lobby screen so you guys don't have to struggle around. Raza's still trying to connect. I don't know if it's just his internet or if it's the stream causing issues or whatever, but looks like it's only you, AC Oakhill. We're gonna get to chat to tonight, unfortunately, because we will need to wrap the stream up, hopefully before 9:30 tonight. Okay, so AC Oakhill, have you got your audio included in the broadcast? Hello? Is he there? I can't hear him speak. He needs to plug his mic in.
I can't hear him either.
Oh, we're having a good one tonight, boys. We're having a good one.
At least we had a very good race.
Yes, at least
that's
we had
the
a
most
good one.
important thing. That midfield battle, I think, has saved any technology errors going up.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So,
At least this didn't
Few of the
happen
drivers.
during the race like this, so every driver was able to compete as well.
Oh, Raza's joining again.
Unfortunately, I just don't think the connection's going to allow him tonight. They don't want him to have his glorious moment.
Yeah, and I think is AC Oakhill having a problem as well?
AC Oakhill is in the party, which is further than what Raza got. But unfortunately, you can't seem to hear anything AC Oakhill is saying.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if that's just down to the connection or if his mic is not connected up to his controller properly. But I think that's all we've got time for, unfortunately, today.
Oh, hello, can you hear me now?
Oh.
I think
Yeah, we can hear you.
Ah, fantastic.
Oh my God, right on time.
there's some
Right, on
connection
cue.
issues with this toy, I think so.
You
But yeah.
just wanted a dramatic
Yeah.
entrance, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried to restart the party, like I hopped out, but it could have just been
Yeah.
the connection issue
Yeah.
from the ports we were all on, so I wouldn't worry about it. Anyway, that race, how do you think it went?
Well, I must say, at the start, first stint for me, I was involved in quite a lot of battles with, got up the front. And then second stint for me, I went on the one-stop strategy. Soft to mediums, quite ambitious, but I was pretty much by myself for the whole second stint. Managed to drive away, but quite a safe second place in the end.
Yeah, I think you definitely made it stick. And did you start to feel those mediums start to wear down after a while?
Yeah, I think both me and Raza were slowing the pace down right at the end there, but yeah, I think one wrong movement could have been a spin and race all over.
Yeah, I think as well as that, you managed to pull out some really good defensive moves when it's stuck as well, to maintain your position earlier on in the race. So I think for you, you should be very proud of that, and I don't think you'll be in that car next week.
Yeah, well that is one thing with this league, isn't it? If you do well, you bump down the order.
Yeah, so I wouldn't worry about it. I think you're going to do awesome in any other car. You've got a lot of potential in the league. So yeah, I can't wait to see you do some more racing next week.
Thanks very much, guys. Cheers.
Congratulations on today.
Good one.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks very much.
Yes, congratulations. And that was your second place winner, AC Oakhill there, saying his piece.
Fantastic race from him today.
Anyway, I do believe that's all we've got time for here on the Invictus Racing League. Xbox Round 7 here at Austin, and that is us concluding today's broadcast. If you'd like to see more of this, feel free to follow the channel, and we'll be live on Tuesday again with Dom and Keiran for the next round of the Invictus Racing League for the Xbox F1 League. Remember, there's a difference. We're the RP League. We have all the action. We bring all the fun. So, without further ado, I'd like to thank everybody for joining in on today's broadcast. And to everybody, I would like to wish you all a good night. And we'll see you again next week.